Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for GWBC Radio's Open for Business. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, broadcasting live from the WBENC National Conference 2022 inside the GWBC booth 1812 if you want to come by and check us out. We are proud to have Pam Prince-Eason. Welcome, Pam.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm super happy to be here with you.
Well, I'm excited to be talking to you. You've the president of WBENC. When you look around at this conference, is this a few months ago, it was kind of chaotic, and now here we are with just literally thousands of your closest friends around you.
Yeah,
How's it feel?
so we have 3,800 people that are registered for it, and I'm sure on any given day there might not be quite 3,800 people,
sure.
But we're definitely over 3,000 every day. Yesterday was the first day. And today it just keeps getting more and more excitement going. So we're glad to be here in Atlanta. What a great place to be for an event like this. We're at the GWBC, as you said. Wonderful venue for what we're trying to do here. You can see we got a new concept going on.
Sure.
After COVID, things are changing, right? And so we had to change with it. When we booked this property, we were supposed to have been here in April of 2020.
Right.
And so they were gracious enough to work with us to rebook. But when you rebooked, you didn't know, the virus was staying with us or what. So we opted to come out of your normal format where you have a lot of smaller rooms and that sort of thing and take all this wonderful space here in Hall C.
This big open air space.
It's great, isn't it? And so wonderful. Then we could make it what we wanted it to be. Even with that, the chaos has been real, right? Because it was really January 1st when we decided we think we can pull this off safely. So, will COVID occur? I would imagine that it would in any large group, but are we going to be this huge super spreader? I don't think so, right? And people are being super careful. We've got a lot of precautions in place, and so you can do business and do it safely.
Right, and this is living testament to that. I mean, you're seeing right here, it feels like a reunion, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Because we've been so kind of locked in for a year plus, and then seeing people in little squares on your computer, and now you're here. And the hugs are real.
Yes.
They feel real, right?
They sure are.
The first time probably you've seen some of these people maybe in person.
3 years. It's the first time I've seen people I knew pretty much in person in 3 years, because our last event was in another state 3 years ago in June, right? And so that's very real. And then there's been very little opportunity since then to be in person. So as you said, it's all been Zoom. And now we're finally here. And we have 200 new corporate members. Right, so we're up well over 500 active corporations wanting to make a difference.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So I mean, those 200 people, I've only seen them via Zoom, right? And so now I'm seeing them and the teams that they have with them, and I'm seeing their commitment come to life. It's amazing. Yeah.
Now, for you as the leader of this organization, what's kind of your dream of dreams? How do you want to leave this at the end of your tenure? What do you see? Is it more corporates, more Weebies? How do you want to see the growth of the organization?
So just this week or overall?
Overall. Kind of over your dream of how this could be at the end of your tenure.
Okay, there are millions of women-owned businesses out there, and those businesses could be Caucasian businesses, they could be women of color, they could be disabled businesses, they could be veteran businesses, they could be LGBT businesses, and those are all women businesses.
Right.
I want to see every business that wants to grow and scale be certified by this organization, because we are by far the best at connecting you with corporate America, and by the way, with the federal government as well. The Women-Owned Small Business Program is one that we support with our certification, and so the opportunities are there. I have 14 great regional partners, one of which is Ross Lewis, who you know here in Atlanta, and they work with us all during the year to make sure that we're getting opportunities available to women-owned businesses. So what I'd love to see is millions of people certified.
Right, and that's what you're talking about, a universe of, it could be hundreds of thousands of women-owned businesses.
Correct.
That's not a dream that's impossible. It's
not impossible.
Right. But, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of people here, and there seems like there's a lot of certified businesses, and there are, but there's a vast majority are not certified, and they should be considering it at least to go through the process. I mean, it's for their own good.
Yes, exactly. And, I hope that you're getting the opportunity while you're here to talk to new corporate members who had not been a part of anything like this before, as well as new WBEs. The new WBEs that I talked to yesterday, there were just a plethora of them, and they all said, I had no idea that getting certified would lead to this type of connection.
It's game-changing.
It is game-changing.
I've interviewed enough people to know. I've interviewed small businesses. I've interviewed corporates. The budgets the corporates have are tremendous, and if they could just take a small sliver of it, it's pennies on the dollar or even fractions of pennies, it makes a world of difference to these small business people.
Right.
I mean, it's not like these small businesses are saying, here, give me $50 million.
Yep.
I mean, $50,000, $25,000, $10,000 is game-changing for a lot of these folks.
Absolutely, and that's what we want, right? Every one of us really cares about making an impact with either our customer base or our community in which we live in, right? We want to see that impact. It is much easier for a small business to add just one employee than it is for any of these large businesses to add 10. Right? And so if we can get some of that money flowing towards smaller businesses so that it can impact the community, so that they can spend it in those communities, it's amazing. And what you see when you look around here at the great large corporations here supporting this, that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to, if you're not large enough to take those large orders yet, then they're working on executive education programs with us, right? They're working to scale those businesses. So we're super proud about being the representative for all women-owned businesses.
Well, it's more than a representative. I mean, you're kind of the community builder for both sides of this kind of matchmaking marketplace that you've created here, because in order for the small business to do business with the large business, they have to be trained and educated and certified and be legit so that they can really serve them. And these large businesses have to kind of learn how to work with the small businesses, and they have to get together, and everybody has to kind of communicate, and there has to be kind of this center part where everybody can go in one place like this and learn how to work together.
Yeah. Over a decade ago, I was vice president of global sourcing at Pfizer. And I'll admit that initially, Pfizer was very smart. They recognized that I was great at large business interaction.
Right.
But I'll be honest, I wasn't great at recognizing all the innovation that's there with a small business, how much of an impact they could make, how quickly they could pivot for something needed, and really that fluidity that those businesses have make great solutions for us, right? And so luckily they put me on the board of this organization, and it's led to being here all the time.
It probably changed the trajectory of your career.
It did. Never would I have imagined this, but I'll tell you, there's no more work that you can be so gratified by than seeing a small business owner get an order.
Right. Look, every large business started as a small business, right?
They sure did.
So they need an opportunity. They need the chance to meet that kind of corporate that says, hey, I can do this. I can solve this need. And a lot of these corporates I'm seeing are very creative in the sense that they're using these smaller businesses as kind of beta testers of ideas, and that, hey, I'm doing this thing. You might be able to use this. It's like their R&D budget for some of these folks.
That is absolutely true. We have, I won't out any names right now, but we've got some pretty progressive corporations here right now who have their innovation department here. Right?
Exactly. It's not an accident.
Yeah,
That's
it's
on
not.
purpose.
We have two great pitch competitions going on. One is with our college students. The other one is with other women business owners who are here. And those innovation teams are watching these pitch competitions, and they're saying, oh, is that something that could happen in my industry? Is that something that would be totally different if I brought it into my industry?
Right.
So, again, I think that we are a wonderful organization, and throughout the year, we have about 850 things available, either nationally or with my 14 regional partners.
Right.
And every one of those gives a WBE the opportunity to interact with corporate partners who care about them becoming part of the supply chain.
And it's important for every business out there, every woman-owned business, to get certified. I know it's a bit of a pain. There's paperwork, there's hoops you got to jump through, but the payoff is so large, it can be game-changing. And one account from one of these corporates where you would never get to meet them in real life unless you were certified and working with one of your RPOs, it can change the trajectory of yourself, your business, your community. It's big if you do it. and take the time to do it. Do you have anything actionable that you can share with that women business owner that maybe kind of heard of certification, isn't clear how to do it? What should they be doing to get involved?
The easiest thing that I can say is our website is WBENC.org. So that's WBENC.org. Again, WBENC.org. When you go there, there's a tab for certification. If you go to that, it will simply say, if you need to be certified, this is what it requires to be certified. Right. It is laid out there step by step on what you need. And there are questions at times, right, about do you need that much paperwork? Do you really need my minutes of this? Do you need various parts of what we ask for?
Do.
Well, we do, right? We need to know you're owned, operated, and controlled by a woman or women. And so what I would say about that is we intend to grow you. And as we grow you, you're going to potentially need a loan. Well, the paperwork you do for me to get certified, you just keep it in a little file, and you're going to be able to just walk right into the bank with that and have everything you need.
Right.
So we get you organized. And so, yes, it can be daunting if you're one of the people who's had a business and you don't know where any of your records are and that sort of stuff. But once you've done that, it is well worth it.
Absolutely. And you have to do that, to get certified. But once you've done it, you've done it. And the next time's easy.
That's exactly right.
All right, Pam. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're doing such important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you for covering us. We really appreciate it.
All right, this is Lee Cantor broadcasting live from WBENC National Conference 2022 inside GWBC booth 1812. We'll be back in a few.